this is Kathy from Kathy's Creations and Specialties. Today I'm going to do a tutorial on the double flip album, and it's really simple to put together. What you do first is cut your paper, and the first paper you cut and I've pre-cut all my papers, but the first one you cut at 3.5 by 8.5. So that's number one. On number two, and this is going to be the base page, but this is 8.5 by 8.5. And then number three, you need two of them, but you need to cut them at 2 3/4 by 7.5. And then the fourth piece of paper that you will need is 9 by 8.5. And then on number 5, you're going to cut a piece of paper that's 6.5 by 9. I'm sorry, it's 6.5 by 8. And this is going to be the pocket. And then you're going to need 18 to 20 of these. And these are 4.5 by 4. And then the next thing what you're going to do is you're going to score them. And number one is you're going to score on the short side, so it will be like that. You're going to score it at 1/2 inch and 1 inch. Or if it's easier for you to work on this side of the paper, then score it at 2.5 and at 3. And that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to score it at 2.5 and 3, because it is easier to get to that side of the paper. Okay, so then as you can see here, you can see my score lines. Alright, and you're going to continue to score the paper, and number 3, which are these, you're going to score at either 1/2 inch on this side, or you're going to do 1/2 inch from the other side. So I'm going to do 2 1/4. Because it's just easier to work on that side of the board versus so close in. Okay, so that's number 3. And then number 4, you're going to score at also is going to, let's get number 4. And you need to score this on the 9-inch side. So you make sure it's on the 9-inch, and you're going to actually score at, because the camera is where it's at, I am actually going to score at 1/2 inch and 1 inch. But if it is easier, you can do it at 8 and 8.5, and you'll just be turning it And this is going to, and then what you're going to do on the pocket, which is number 5, you're going to score a 1/2 inch on, okay, like that, and then you're going to rotate it, and then you're going to do another 1/2 inch right here. And then I'm going to show you here, if I can get it in the picture just right. Okay, right there. See this little corner right there? We're going to be cutting that out. So let me go ahead and get the scissors. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out, I'm going to taper it on that side, and I'm going to taper it so that's what your card is going to look like once you tapered it. Now I'm also going to taper on this side as well as this side. So that's what it looks like when you're done tapering. But now you're going to, and it's just however the size of the pocket depth that you want to, you're going to get your cutter and you're going to go up, and you can determine, I said 2 inches in the instructions, but it's however depth of the pocket that you'd like. But I'm going to go up and I'm going to go from this point over to the score line on the opposite side on the top. So I get my so that's what the piece of you're going to cut off. You will not need this, but this will create the pocket once you've done the folding of the pocket. Then your pocket's going to look like that on the paper. So anyway, there you go. And so that's all. And then the next thing that you score are all of the little, these are the 4.5 by 4, and where you're going to actually score is on the 4-inch. On the 4.5 inch side, score at 4 inch, and you're going to do that to all of the paper. So then it's going to eventually, you're going to get it to look like that. But go ahead and do that to all your paper. Okay, after you have all the paper scored, then you're going to attach your tape to the as you excuse me, right here, as you can see the score lines. Okay, you're going to be adding your double-sided tape to those areas, and even on the little one here, you add your double-sided tape up to the score line and just prep all of your pieces like that. So anyway, they're all going to look like that. Now once you get you do have one that it is number 1. We did the 2 score lines. Okay, this is going to create kind of a spine, so you only want to put the tape on this section, the bottom of the score lines. After I get all of the tape on them, and then I will then go ahead and use my bone folder to go ahead and crease all of the score lines. So on number 3, you just put it on the bottom, and then on number 6, you put this on the, and you can kind of see how I did that. Same as with this as well. So after you've prepped all of your there's number and then same with number 4, you're only going to put score tape with the 2 score lines. You're going to only put it on the one closest to the edge. So at the bottom, you go ahead and because what this is going to create is this is the spacer, so once you get everything in there, it gives the album room to expand. And then on number 5, you go ahead and you put your score tape on both sides of the like this album really is you know, basically to hold lots of photos of an event, but it's more to show the different events. So if you have several different big events each year, this is a great album, you know, type to just display the different things that you guys do each year. Now we're going to attach. This is our number 2, which is our base for our album. So what you're going to do is now you're going to attach number 1 and number 4 to the album. Number 1 goes on the right hand side of the paper. So you kind of line it up and I put it on top of the base, just like that. So, and then number 4 will go on the left hand side. So it goes, and I always turn it sideways because it's easier to attach. Okay. And then so this is the base of your album. Now number 3 goes on the top and the bottom. The top and the bottom. So I'm a little dyslexic, top and bottom. Excuse me. I got this little morning frog, I guess. So, and what you do is you need 1 and 4 on first. So, because you're going to actually lay number 3 should go exactly at the edge in between 1 and 4 perfectly, just like that. Now what I also suggest that you do is it just kind of gives it a nicer, cleaner look, but I actually round the edges of my mini book, and I'll show you that. So, there. And so that's the base for your book. Now when I say round the corners, I round the corners on my first book, all these sharp edges. You don't have to. You can leave it just like it is, but if you have a decorative edge, you know, please feel free to use it and decorate this book your way. And then where you have that second score line, you're going to score it. So this kind of makes a spine for your book right here. So then when you attach your pocket, then what you're doing is you're going to be attaching it over to here. Now I've done this both ways, and it's just a preference. You could add your decorative paper here before you attach your pocket. That does make it a little easier in some regards to what you're doing. So the paper line I'm going to be using today for this album is the Graphic 45 Mon Amour. This is a very romantic, very clean and fun paper. So you could at this point go ahead and attach a sheet of paper here, or you can go ahead and do it afterwards. I think I would like to attach a piece of paper. So this paper line is one of the newer ones in Graphic 45, but it is, I think, going to be one of my favorites. And you need to decide kind of which one you kind of want to put where. I'm going to go ahead and use the black roses as the front. So go ahead and put your double-sided tape or glue onto your paper, and you can go ahead and get it stuck down before you do your pocket. I think putting on your paper, if you've got it organized enough in your head, I think putting on the paper on this side first kind of takes away from the little bit of extra cutting you're going to have to do later. So I just go ahead and put it on, and I'm not too worried that I trimmed a little bit too much here, because this is where the pocket's going to lie. So what I do is I go ahead and I align the pocket. I've got the double sticky tape, and I put it right at the edge there. And now you don't have to worry about having to put paper underneath, because it's already done. So anyway, that's how you attach the pocket.
Now we're going to start putting on the
the paper onto the book. So the first thing I have is, let's go ahead and put on the, I have double-sided tape on here, and this is the just going to center that. You don't have to put one on the bottom. I do just because I like to add that little bit extra support for the back of the album. And then I added double-sided tape. And here, also because we have this extra fold for, I probably didn't accommodate for, nope, I need to cut this down just to here, because I actually made it to go for the whole length there, and I should have just put a strip. But what we can do, because you can use your bone folder to do this, so I'm going to go ahead and put on that one, and I used double-sided tape, so I will put this one on. And once you get this stuck down, it does not come up very easily. It's really very temperamental, so to speak. So once this tape sticks, it sticks. Sorry. Okay, and I'm going to put this on the pocket. And this is the front. So we will add double-sided tape to that. So what I need to do is, oh yes, what I was saying is that we can use our bone folder here to help do the additional crease. And so that just kind of, it worked, but what I probably should have done is done it this length and then added a strip here. But so, and all you have to do is just fold over the paper and crease it, and that will work. Now, before you put on this top one, oops, I should have put the magnet under here, but I will do a different closure this time. But if you're going to use magnets, it's best to put the magnet on before you put this one, because when you go and put this to here, these are the two that match up, so the magnet should be put on this and on this one. So I'll find a different closure for this one. This will be a fun project to go ahead and because I have not cut this second one, I'm going to go ahead and cut off the strip on the bottom here and kind of put it on the spine instead of trying to bend this one. So I will add some double stick tape to the bottom here, and I do have the strip that I did cut off. So this will be fun. What you could also do is you can use distressed ink to distress the sides of the of this paper here with black ink, and you won't see that it was, the edges were white. Okay. And then you can just add the strip right like that. And it just really, there you go. And then we start adding on the, and you can add the, these are the flip pockets, the flip photo mat, excuse me. And you'll just be layering them. And it's good to kind of get an idea where you're going to start and where you're going to place, because they're going to be placed side by side, and you don't want to go over the score line on the side here, because that will interfere with closing, but you don't want to have them so close that it's hard for them to flip open. And make sure it's right underneath the score line at the top. So I'll put the first two on, but I do like to add my paper while they're still in this, before I attach them. So you just kind of get it lined up, and it goes right underneath that top score line, just like that. And then the second one will sit right along side of the first one. Like I said, if you get them too close, they won't maneuver open effectively. So that's the first two. You put them on like that, and then the next two are going to butt right up underneath the first original two that you put down. And I only put double-sided tape on this one side that's going to be stuck down to the mat. So you'll line it up again with the one that previously placed, and you just butt them up just like that. And so that's how they flip, and they'll cascade just like that. Okay, we're finishing up on the flip photo mats. So I actually put the paper on before I'm attaching it, and it just lined it up just like that. And remember, once it's stuck, it's stuck. It's really, and because if you rip it up, it will rip the paper when you bring it up. So anyway, that attaches all of the flip mini albums just like that. Now what you could do if you want to hide this black strip is to add little strips of paper like that and that will hide that. But anyway, this is just like that. That is our double flip album. I do need to add paper here and here on the book, but basically that is the mini album. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me, or leave a text and I will try to respond. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.